Hello everybody, welcome back to the Crooked Hour. Today we're going to be doing a recap of UFC 299, literally minutes away from when it ended. I've had a few beers, I'm being intoxicated, it's hot, but nonetheless we're going to break down this card, talk a little bit about it. It was a good card overall, didn't get some performances that I expected to happen, but we'll go over it. Starting straight away with Joanne Wood versus Maryna Moroz. Now, I had Maryna Moroz. I think I said she could sub her, but Joanne Wood got it done only because the fact she had a bit more dog in her, and you can't not respect that. She was landing big shots in that last round, even hurt Maryna Moroz for a minute. Joanne Wood, she retired afterwards as well. Respect to her. You want to leave on a win. Like usually when you get fighters who know they're going to retire after, they don't give it a solid crack because they go, well, I'm just leaving afterwards anyway. But I respect Joanne Wood for going in there and giving it a solid red hot crack. So fair enough to Joanne Wood. She gets it done by unanimous decision. 29-28. It was actually a split. I didn't pick that up when I was watching it. It was a split. So one ref gave it to Maryna Moroz. One judge, sorry. But I do think the correct decision was Joanne Wood, even though I picked Maryna Moroz. Moving up. CJ Vergara versus Asu Almabaev. Now, I did pick Asu Almabaev. I think I said by decision. And he gets it done by a pretty dominant decision. But CJ Vergara did look good on the feet. His kick, his punches. I said on the feet. I guess he does have multiple feet. I don't know if that's a word. But he did look good on the feet. It was just the takedowns of Asu Almabaev that got the job done, you know, better takedowns, could compete in the striking, was like equal in the striking. CJ Vergara did have good moments, but Asu Almabaev, I cannot say this last fucking name, Almabaev, I always go say Almabaev, he was just like keeping up, had the way better grappling, great grappler. I reckon this guy could go pretty far. He landed 9 out of 12 takedowns, as you see on the screen. Outstriked CJ Vergara. So on this card so far I was 1-1. Now when I did my picture I actually skipped this fight, and not on purpose, because my pick was, I know, believe me or not believe me, I mean it's a pretty obvious pick. I mean Josh Parisian is trash, so why would you pick him? But my pick was the big boy. I think that's his name, the big boy. Robelis, that's just what I'm going to call him. And he went out there, flatlined him. I'm a fan of this guy. Only problem is he's like 35 years old. We need to see him back soon. Try and just give him that boost. Like, just he took barely any damage. It says Josh Parisian got 2 total strikes. Maybe when he was backing up, he landed a little shot, but there's nothing that's going to damage you. Like, it'd be like hitting your chin on a cupboard or something, you know. Hurts for the day, but goes away after that. I want to see this guy back in here soon, and give him a boost up. Don't put him in against another just fat, low-rank heavyweight. Just boost him up a bit. Give him a big test just outside the top 15, in my opinion. I know that's unfair, but with a performance like that, he's 5-0, just starting his career. Just boost him up and see if he can do it. He's 35, so if he loses, well, he doesn't have much left in the sport. And if he wins, I mean, that's a top dude you can have coming up your rankings quickly. So good fight, quick fight, but the big boy gets it done. Next up, Michel Pereira versus Michael Olizaichuk. Now, I expected this fight to be a lot closer than what it was. I did have Michel Pereira. I don't know if I said by decision or KO. I'll have to double check that, but he gets it done by round 1 rear naked choke, which I definitely didn't call. I actually had a bet on him by KO, so when he started to sink in that choke, I was like, no, don't fucking do it. What the fuck? Crash my parlays, brother. But no, middleweight Michel Pereira is a different animal. This guy's a different animal, dominant. As you can see here, Michael Olizaichuk landed 1 out of 4 strikes. Michel Pereira, great body kicks, great body shots. It was actually a body shot that sat Michael Olizaichuk down. Like I'm saying again about the big boy, I'm saying boost Michel Pereira up. Middleweight needs new contenders. Boost him up against somebody like in the top 15. Do it now. This guy's already had a run at welterweight. Not a really impressive win. run, sorry. But he did do decent at welterweight. But how good is he at middleweight is like the real question. I'm saying really good because he was going to close fights with like Nico Price and people like that. Now he's just running through people like Michael Alexachuk, who nobody's running through Michael Alexachuk like that. Nobody. Never seen it. Usually Michael Alexachuk lands some good shots on the feet first, maybe even stumbles his opponent. But here it was just all Michel Pereira and he did a very good job at it. So give him a boost up the rankings in my opinion. See how far he can go because you need to get these people up there like, oh, we have fucking... Who was that one guy that fought Jack Hermanson? Joe Pyfer. Oh, let's boost Joe Pyfer up here, you know? Somebody who the fans don't really even give a fuck about, won like 3 fights in the UFC. Oh, let's give him a boost. Let's give him a boost out in the rankings. But you got people like Michel Pereira who, you know, have had a career, get an impressive win. Oh, fight this other non-contender. I'm sick of the bullshit. Give him a boost up the fucking rankings. I'm sick of this bullshit selective picking. Somebody does well, you give him a boost up the rankings in my opinion. So give Michel Pereira a boost up the rankings and see how he goes. You might as well. He's been pretty dominant in his last 2 fights, so that's what I'm saying. Now this pick I got wrong. I had Ian Cutelaba and I thought it would be sort of dominant. I was completely wrong. The leg kicks, as you can see here, 23 out of 24 leg kicks landed for Philipe Lins. Ian Cutelaba, he was trying to fight more strategic, fair play, but it just wasn't working for him. Like, it just wasn't working for him. I'm fucking sweating like crazy. But it just wasn't working for him. Like, he couldn't get off because Philipe Lins was doing such good at distance, like landing better shots at distance, chewing up that leg. It was a distance fighting, and I did say in my pick show there was going to be that clinch work, and Philipe Lins did do that clinch work. As much as all the fans were fucking happy about that, he did do it. And you got takedowns too, as we see here, 5 minutes 34 of control time. I definitely think he won the fight dominantly. And Cutelaba, I think he falls into that category of being a fighter that's very, what's the word, like wins one, loses one, unpredictable. Like you can't rely on Ian Cutelaba. So we'll see what he does after this. But not a very impressive performance by him. Philipe Lins looked good, but still think he's very beatable. Like, I don't think that was like a, whoa, Philipe Lins has got better. It was more of Ian Cutelaba just being fucking stupid, to be completely honest. But Philipe Lins, good win. Good leg kicks. That was the best part. Good leg kicks. Now, I was on and off in this fight. I would watch it. I wouldn't watch it. I'd watch it because I had visitors. They were going away. They were leaving, so I had to go out and say goodbye to them. So I missed some of this fight. But I had Kyler Phillips. I forget my prediction. I think I said decision, and he does win the decision here. Kyler Phillips is fucking good, man. Like, Kyler Phillips is fucking good. Like, did you see when Pedro Munhoz fought Sean O'Malley? I know I got ended by an iron poke, but he wasn't getting schooled by Sean O'Malley like Kyler Phillips was schooling him. I know that's an unfair comparison, but I'm just trying to put out the point. Like, Kyler Phillips could be elite. We haven't seen him against like real elite people as of late because he's so fucking inactive. Kyler Phillips, get back in there, fight. If you want to make something in this division, you have to get back in there and you need to fight because you're a good fucking fighter. And I think you could go very far. I'm saying this like I'm speaking directly to him, while in reality I'm speaking to me 30 viewers. But Kyler Phillips, you can do this. Dominant win. The kicks, the diversity in attacks, the footwork. It was all on show. Even the ground game. Like, he was showing, like as you see here, Pedro got 1 out of 8 takedowns. Kyler Phillips' takedown defense is good. I really think he would make a run. The boxing was on show. The kickboxing was on show. Kyler Phillips, another person who you just need to get up there. When these young up-and-comers, well, not young, but these people have been striving for a bit, finally get some good wins on track, that's when you need to give them the chance for a boost. But no, if you're in the UFC and you've lost, like, say you've lost 5 fights in the UFC over your career of 15 fights, it's like, oh no, better not give this guy a boost up the rankings. He's lost 5 fights. I'm fucking sick of it. Next up, Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. By the way, nice win by Kyler Phillips. Dominant win. Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. Now, I did pick Mateusz Gamrot by decision, and he gets a decision win here. Rafael dos Anjos, he like dropped him in the first round, and I was like, shit, like, is this about to happen? Is Rafael dos Anjos about to beat Mateusz Gamrot? But then Mateusz Gamrot got his grappling going. Just Rafael dos Anjos is getting old, but he's still got that good strike, and that's the issue. But he just can't keep up with these high-paced grapplers like he used to. Like, Mateusz Gamrot was all over him. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but Mateusz Gamrot was all over him in the grappling, dominant. He was just so good at chaining it together. Like, Rafael dos Anjos, he'd have his back, and then Rafael dos Anjos would go to get up, and then he moved to a different position, sweep him back over, keep on him on the ground, go from half guard, full guard, side control. He was just all over him. Not the most impressive win from Mateusz Gamrot, I wouldn't say. Like, this guy needs to get some finishes to get that hype. Like, you see Arman Saruki, and the reason he's so big is because he's getting these finishes and everybody talks about it. Mateusz Gamrot getting these little decisions that's like sort of flies under the radar. Like, who's going to really remember this fight between Mateusz Gamrot and Rafael dos Anjos? Casuals won't be. The people just tuning in like, oh, let's watch 299 from the prelims. They're not going to be going like, Mateusz Gamrot, he's a name to look out for. It's only really the hardcores that will be sort of impressed by that performance. Next up, I missed this fight mainly, not for any apparent reason. Not because it's a women's fight. I like women's fights. I don't want to be one of those people that say women's fights suck. But I just wasn't too interested in this specific fight. I picked Maycee Barber. I think I said decision. And she got it done by decision. Dominant decision. From what I seen, it just seemed like she was getting the better of most exchanges. Like Katlyn Chookagian, which her new name is Cerminara or some shit like that. She was just going one and done, one and done, one and done. While Maycee Barber was throwing in nice combinations. She got 4 out of 4 takedowns, more control, 7 out of 7 leg kicks. Like, just going even off the stats here, like, significant strikes, 84, more headshots. Katlyn did work the body more, but I feel like this was a deserving win for Maycee Barber, and she's on a mad streak now, so, like, she could be someone we really talk about in this flyweight division. Like, she could be somebody who's really going to get up there and somebody we'll have to talk about. So, good win by Maycee Barber. She gets it done, unanimous decision. Respect to her. And she's got a fatty as well. Curtis Blaydes versus Jailton Almeida. Now, had Jailton Almeida, and it was going the way I thought it would go. It was. Nice takedowns. But I was thinking, is he going to be able to keep up with this pace? And the ending, bro, the ending was just so weird to me. Like, I'm sweating like shit right now, but it's alright. But the ending was so weird for me. Like, Jailton Almeida going for a takedown, getting hammer-fisted, just remained in the same spot. I know it's hard to get out of that spot, especially when you got a grip on the leg and you're just getting punched in the head. I don't blame him for positioning. I'm not saying he's dumb for the positioning, but it was just such a weird finish. Like, hammer shots. Jailton Almeida looked unstoppable before this performance. He could have definitely won this performance. This is the thing. It just takes one little mistake to lose, and Curtis Blaydes capitalised on that mistake. Now we just have to be stuck with fucking Curtis Blaydes in the fucking heavyweight top fucking 5. I don't want that. Trying to think of a good matchup for him so he can lose. No, I don't mind Curtis Blaydes. It's just like, I'm still not convinced he's that good, eh? Like, against good strikers. He said he wanted Tom Aspinall next. Feed him to Tom Aspinall. Do it. Next up, Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. I had Song Yadong here. I did have Song Yadong here. It was a close fight, but Peter Yan was just way more busy, landing the way better shots, landing the cleaner shots. All respect to Peter Yan, I was wrong. Somebody commented Peter Yan by whatever he wants. I wouldn't go that far, buddy. But it was a dominant decision. I would say besides the round Song won, it was a dominant, like, Peter Yan was hedging him pretty fairly. Like, he was edging him each round, not edging in that way. But he was just doing better with the striking. Song Yadong, he did have his moments. I thought he'd throw more combinations up in the pocket, but he seemed hesitant because Peter Yan's so good at that counter punching. But I think if he just went for it a little bit more, he could have won by just outpointing him here. But Peter Yan's a great counter striker. You got to be careful of that. Honestly, you do have to be careful of that. So It's a good win by Peter Yan. Song Yudong still got heaps of time to learn. 26, he's already up the top. He just can't go on a losing streak. That's the biggest thing for Peter Yan. Yeah, can drop one. Like no worries about dropping one at this stage in your career. But don't let yourself go on like a 2-fight, 3-fight losing streak. Just don't do it. But overall, good fight by Peter Yan, and he's back. He's back in that conversation. I'd like to see who he fights next. I don't know who he should fight next. Maybe a Cheeto Vera. That'd be a good fight. We'll talk about that more later. But that could be a good fight. Peter Yan, Cheeto Vera. Book it. It was meant to be booked a while ago. That's a good fight, man. Gilbert Burns versus JDM. Now, I forget exactly how I scored this fight. I think I said Jack Della by decision. I think that was my official pick. But he gets it done by 3rd round KO. Gilbert Burns was looking good though. But Gilbert Burns always looks good. That's what I see in my breakdown. Gilbert Burns always finds a way to look good. And this was another fight where he looked good. JDM better up in the pocket. But Gilbert Burns was getting those harder shots in. Those big overhands. The takedowns. Just making it a messy fight for Jack. And Jack was hesitant, but I think with good reason. I think he was trying to line up his shots instead of overthrowing and going in like fucking wild and getting taken down more. But nonetheless, Jack Della gets it done. Impressive. Jack Della's somebody to look out for. He could out Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think that's a fight to book for sure. JDM, Shavkat, title elimination bout. I think that's what you book. I do think that's what you book. Yeah, I think that's the fight to make. Gilbert Burns, sucks for him to get another loss. Like, he was at his peak, and then he kind of lost to Bilal by that arm injury, which kind of sucks. So I think if he didn't have that arm injury, he would have won that fight. But that made him take a step back, and then he had a really hard fight in Jack Della and lost, which I don't see no shame in, but he still lost it nonetheless. So, step back for him, a step up for Jack. Big up Jack, fellow Aussie. Getting the job done. Impressive KO too. He threw the knee up the middle. Hit Gilbert right on the chin. Dropped him. Followed up with hammer shots. Like ground and pound. The ref took a little bit to step in, but I do agree. Like, he gave Gilbert Burns enough time. Gilbert Burns was still moving and everything, and then he just covered up. That's when the ref stepped in. Fine stoppage in my opinion. But Jack Della, man, he's somebody to look out for sure. Next up, Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. Don't really want to talk about this fight, you know. Big Kevin Holland fan. I'm not afraid to hide it. Big Kevin Holland fan, but fuck, he can be a frustrating fighter to fucking back. MVP style was just really hard for him to track here. Like, trying to track that in and out movement with the big shots coming over the top. Like, those straight rights. The shots Kevin Holland ate in this fight were unbelievable. But Kevin Holland just couldn't track that in and out movement, those quick blitzes that Michael Venom Page has, and that was his biggest mistake. Honestly think if he came into this fight with a grappling orientated game plan, I think he could have won this fight, because on the feet he was doing nothing. He landed like 2 good straight rights. I did have Kevin Holland by, I think I said 2nd round KO, stepping in with that straight right. But Michael Venom Page just wasn't there to be hit by. His movement was just too good. But as good as Michael Venom Page is, he waits way too long. I don't like him fighting Wonderboy. I think Wonderboy might have him through activity. But Michael Venom Page still really good. Impressive win. Kevin Holland, he looked decent when he had him on the ground. He looked decent in the clinch. He should have just trained for that, in my opinion. But nonetheless, MVP gets it done. Good job. I really wanted Kevin to win. He's now on a 2-fight losing streak. That's just depressing. But bias aside, MVP, nice win. Like, he hit him with some mad elbows. Hit him with some mad straight rights. Nice body shots too. I have to say it. Kevin got outschooled in this fight. As hard as that is to say, he got outschooled in this fight, clearly. MVP, somebody to look out for sure. And yeah, book the Wonderboy fight for Page next. Kevin Holland. He needs to fight somebody outside the rankings. I'm guessing he's still going to be in the rankings, but he needs to fight somebody outside of it. See if he can defend his ranking spot. Next up, Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. What did I tell yous, boys? What did I tell yous? Everybody falling on that hype train, mate. Not me. Not this guy. But in all seriousness, fuck, it's hot. Like, I'm dying. I'm dying here. This room gets so fucking hot, and it's like... Let me actually check the weather real quick. A quick detour. I can't check the weather, but... My back's sweaty. My brain is melting. Dustin Poirier versus Saint-Denis. Now, what did I tell you? Saint-Denis kept up that pressure, and not to call him out, but I was watching MMA Experts live stream, and he's like, "Oh, Dustin Poirier's done here. And I'm like, I don't think he's done. Unless he gets submitted here, he's not done. Because Benoit Saint-Denis was using so much energy in those exchanges, while Dustin Poirier was just covering up, landing his shots, covering up, fighting smart. Well, Benoit Saint-Denis was just fucking putting his foot to the metal, going 100 miles per hour, just trying to make this a dog fight. And Dustin Poirier kept shooting fucking guillotines like an idiot, but nonetheless, him with a nice shot. I think it was the lead hook, was it? Or it was a hook of either hand, but he hit him with a nice hook and dropped him clean. Dustin Poirier, he's just a vet. You don't want to really go in at a fight with... You don't really want to fight him where you have open exchanges with him, especially in the pocket, because that's where Dustin Poirier is best, and I thought Saint-Denis would do that, and I thought he'd be open. I did say Dustin Poirier by decision. I didn't expect him to flatline Saint-Denis. I expect him to drop him and get the decision win, but he flatlined him. Dustin Poirier's back on top. I don't know who he should fight next. The lightweight division's fucked. No new people can move up into it. Rafael, Fizzy have tried to move up. Nah. Benoit Saint-Denis tried to move up. Nah. It's like, these top 5 lightweights are elite. They honestly are elite. So, respect to Dustin Poirier. Yeah, this fight, man. This fight. Cheeto fan here. I'll say that at the start. Cheeto fan sitting right here. The fight was going how I thought it was going to go, which is the saddest part about it all. The fight went exactly how I thought it would went. Logically, that's how I thought the fight would go. But fantasy-wise, I was just picturing Marlon Vera stepping through with a straight right, or some big shot and just sitting Sean O'Malley down, which he did come close to at times, but this was a total masterclass. I ain't gonna be biased and say like Cheeto Vera did well, he did this, he did that. Super durable. As bad as it sounds to say, he didn't really have much other than his durability and heart, really. Like, Sean O'Malley just outstriked him. Sean O'Malley's the best UFC striker, or one of them at least. Better striker than Israel Adesanya. I don't care what anybody says. Sean O'Malley is elite, and it took this fight for me to realise that. But I will wholeheartedly say, I thought he was good, right? I thought he was good. I just didn't know he was this good, and this fight really showed me, no, he is really this good. I'm not going to underestimate Sean O'Malley anymore. I actually had Moroz beating him, but now I don't know. I don't know how that fight goes. I honestly don't. Sean O'Malley, dominant, win, like 50-45, 50-45, 50-44. Cheeto Vera just couldn't get going. He couldn't get into that pocket without getting tagged. Every time he would try, just get tagged and just deter him more and more. And it sucked to see, because I wanted to see Cheeto make this more into a dogfight. He landed such a good body shot at the end of the 5th round. I think in that 5th round, he just needed to make it a dogfight. Go all out. If you get knocked out, you get knocked out. If you don't, you don't. But he was really damaged, fucking probably half concussed. You know, I'm not going to tell him, you should have done this, should have done that, because I'm not in his position. But ideally, if he did that, he would have gave himself more of a chance. I don't know if he would have won, but he would have gave himself more of a chance. That knee that fucking that fucking Sean O'Malley landed on him though. Fuck. What is Marlon Vera's chin made out of? Best chin in UFC. Like, can we say that? Best chin in UFC. Shout out to Kevin Holland's chin on this card too though. Fuck, he ate some mad elbows and shit. But Chito Vera, his chin's something else. Like, fuck the Nate Diaz chin. He gets sat down, bro. Marlon Vera fucking chin is made out of fucking titanium, vibranium or something. I don't fucking know, but his chin's next level. Sean O'Malley, all respect to him. Some of the best striking in the UFC at the moment by far. All respect. You know, I ain't taking anything away from Sean. As a big Cheeto fan, I ain't going to take anything away from Sean. He won this fight fair and square. I don't think you can take anything away from him at all. Really impressive win. I'm excited to see what he fights next. He called out Ilia Topuria. I'm excited to see how that fight goes. Before this fight, I would say Ilia might sleep him. And I still think that Ilia might sleep him, but Sean O'Malley has a very good fucking chance as well. Like, just don't know how that's going to go. And that's what they're going to book. I do believe that's what they're going to book. Big super fight. 2 big stars now. I think this fight, as much as Sean O'Malley sucked at the presser, this fight's fucking going to elevate him to the next level. Like, I was gonna make a video the other day actually saying, like, Sean O'Malley's not a fucking star. Stop saying he's a star. He's not a star. He's a manufactured star who the UFC push on us, which is true. But this fight elevated him to stardom. Like, he's not, I still mightn't say he's a star. I think times will tell. But he's at least, like, he's on an upslope now. Like, that fight was very impressive. He looked good. He didn't need no KO, in my opinion, to look good. Like, sure, it would have been impressive, but just that fight alone and schooling him like that, I think that almost earns more points with the fans, like, with the hardcore fans. I think, like, shit, you schooled Marlon Vera like that? Instead of, let's just say, you got a second round KO, and they're like, oh, there's a KO. You know what I'm saying? So on this fight, I went, how many fights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is that correct? I went 0, 14, 1, 14, 2, 14, 3, 14, 4, 14 again, 5, 14, 6, 14, 7, 14, 7, 14, 7, 14, 8, 14, 8, 14, 9, 14, 9, 14. Didn't go too bad, boys. I didn't go too bad. Like, fucking, I had people on TikTok chatting shit. Like, none of your picks don't be right, mate. And not a lot of them were, but I went alright. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna fucking melt in a minute. Hope you guys really enjoyed this card. If you don't mind, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subs. Want to get to it at the end of this month. I said that last month, but if we could get to it at the end of this month, that'd be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, have a good one. Peace out.
Give me 5 minutes, I'ma pull up with like 5 niggas. Give me 5 minutes, girl, I'ma be right with you. If you're vibing right.